There are over 36 million health savings accounts in the US right now, helping around 61 million Americans save tax-free for medical expenses. If you're one of them, you're going to want to hear this. In this video, we're covering the brand new HSA contribution limits for 2026 straight from the IRS. Plus, we'll go through major proposed changes that would expand your health savings account and could completely reshape how you use it, from bigger tax breaks to new ways you can spend your funds. For 2025, you can contribute up to $4,300 for self-only coverage or $8,550 for family coverage. If you are 55 or older, add a $1,000 catch-up contribution to those numbers. The IRS just confirmed that for 2026, the limits are rising slightly. $4,400 for self-only, up $100, and $8,750 for family, up $200, with the same $1,000 catch-up for 55 or older. HSAs are one of the best tax savings accounts because you can contribute to the account pre-tax, which lowers your taxable income today. And since you can invest the money, it grows tax-free. Then, you don't pay any federal taxes when the money is withdrawn from the account for approved medical expenses. As you can see, based on historical contribution rates, an increase of this amount is pretty common. I know $100 and $200 doesn't sound like much, but any increase in contribution rate keeps your HSA competitive as medical costs go up, so try to take advantage of it if you can. Just a reminder that an HSA is not the same thing as an FSA. They are completely different. The main difference is that health savings accounts are only available with high deductible health plans, and the money rolls over every year and stays with you even if you change jobs. Flexible spending accounts, on the other hand, are use it or lose it. So if you don't spend the money within a short period of time, then it's gone forever. They also don't offer the same long-term savings or investment benefits as an HSA. I always get so many people who have an FSA thinking they have an HSA and vice versa, so I try to call it out whenever possible, so that's why I had to mention it. These contribution limits we just went through are the foundation of what can be put into the account, but what if you could save even more? Congress is debating changes that could supercharge your HSA even more, so let's dive into those proposals. Quick heads up that these are proposals from a congressional draft, not law yet, so they might not happen or they could change. They're part of a bigger budget bill. Later in the video, we'll talk about their current status and what you can expect to happen going forward. For now, let's break down what's on the table, what each one means, how it compares to today's rules, and why it could help you. And let me know in the comments below which ones you like and dislike the most, because I'm always curious to get an idea of how people are feeling about these things. First, Congress wants to double HSA contribution limits for some people. Right now, you're capped at $4,400 for self-only or $8,750 for family coverage in 2026. The proposal would let you add another $4,400 if your income is under $75,000 as a single filer, or $8,750 with an income under $150,000 for families, phasing out at higher incomes. Doubling contribution amounts would be extremely helpful because since HSA contributions lower your taxable income, it's a massive tax break, potentially saving thousands at the 22% and lower tax brackets, letting you stash away a lot more money for medical costs. This addresses a sticking point that has stopped past attempts to expand HSAs. Some lawmakers were worried that proposals mostly benefited wealthier individuals while leaving lower income families behind. By including a carve-out that lets certain lower income groups contribute twice as much, this version has a better shot at gaining broader support and actually getting passed. Next, working seniors on Medicare Part A could contribute to HSAs. Today, if you are enrolled in any Medicare Part like Part A for hospital coverage, you can't add to your HSA even if you are working with a high deductible health plan or HDHP. This change would let those seniors keep contributing tax-free while employed. It's really good for retirees with jobs, helping them save for uncovered expenses like dental or vision, which Medicare sometimes skips. Another part of this lets you use HSA funds for fitness expenses up to $500 for singles or $1,000 for joint filers. This includes gym memberships or equipment like treadmills. Currently, HSA money is limited to medical expenses, not fitness, unless a doctor prescribes it for a specific condition. This would make everyday wellness activities tax-free, saving you something like $120 in taxes on a $500 gym membership while encouraging healthier habits. I am a big proponent of being proactive with your health to hopefully reduce overall medical expenses during your life, so I would love to see this. Plus, selfishly, I want to buy a new bench for my garage gym and would love to use my HSA money on it. There are companies out there like TrueMed that are currently doing this sort of thing. They have you fill out a questionnaire and then submit it to a doctor on their staff to help you get approved for certain proactive health-related things on their website that normally wouldn't be covered by your HSA. Because using your own HSA money without a doctor's excuse to prevent health-related issues is way too logical, so of course the government doesn't allow it. Much better to wait until you are actually sick. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Oh, that's right, I forgot we don't have health care in this country, we have sick care. Silly me, what was I thinking? The proposal also expands which health plans qualify for HSAs. Right now, only HDHPs with high deductibles, like the $1,650 for self-only coverage in 2025, let you open an HSA. The change would include bronze and catastrophic ACA plans, which are cheaper but still have high deductibles. This opens HSAs to more people, especially younger or lower income, letting them save tax-free on plans that they can afford. Next, direct primary care arrangements wouldn't disqualify your HSA, and their fees could be HSA eligible. If you're not familiar, these are like a subscription to a doctor, say for $50 a month for unlimited visits outside of traditional insurance. Today, these arrangements can make you ineligible for an HSA if they cover too much care. This change keeps your HSA active and lets you pay those fees tax-free, saving money on routine care while keeping your HDHP for emergencies. Free or discounted care at employer worksite clinics wouldn't block HSA eligibility either. Currently, if your job offers a clinic with low-cost services, it might count as extra coverage, making you ineligible for HSA contributions. This proposal makes sure that you can use both, saving on taxes and clinic visits without losing your HSA benefits. Next, if your spouse has a flexible spending account or FSA, it wouldn't stop you from contributing to your HSA. Today, a spouse's general purpose FSA can disqualify your HSA because it's seen as other coverage. This change lets you keep saving tax-free, avoiding confusion and boosting your family's medical savings. Finally, you could roll over a flexible spending account or health reimbursement arrangement funds to your HSA when you switch to a high-deductible health plan. FSAs let you set aside a certain amount every year for medical costs like co-pays or glasses, but they're often use it or lose it. You forfeit unused funds after 12 to 15 months, though some plans allow a $660 rollover. HRAs are employer-funded accounts for things like deductibles, but you lose them if you leave your job. Right now, you cannot move FSA or HRA balances to an HSA. They stay separate, and unused funds are often lost. This proposal would let you transfer those balances tax-free to your HSA when you join an HDHP up to a limit like $3,200 for an FSA. For example, moving a $2,000 FSA balance could save a few $100s in taxes and grow to over $7,500 in 20 years at 7% returns. In my opinion, this is a huge win. It simplifies your medical savings, prevents losing hard-earned funds, and lets you invest them long-term in your HSA for future medical costs in retirement. So will these HSA proposals actually become law? Let's break down where they stand and what it means for you, even if you've never followed this process before. All of those changes we just went through, like doubling contribution limits or covering gym memberships, are a part of a bigger budget plan called reconciliation. Now, that's a special process to pass tax and spending laws a lot faster, needing just 51 Senate votes instead of the usual 60. The HSA updates we went over come from a draft in this bigger plan, but they're not law yet. So your HSA still follows the current rules, like the $4,400 self-only contribution limit for 2026. Here's where things stand. The House Budget Committee has approved the budget plan, and it's now with the House Rules Committee, which sets debate rules for a full House vote, needing about 218 of 435 votes. If it passes there, then it heads to the Senate, where 51 votes can pass it, but a rule called the Byrd Rule might cut parts like gym memberships if they don't directly affect the budget. I'm not really worried about this rule because if you think about it, letting people use their own HSA money for proactive health expenses shouldn't affect the budget. It doesn't cost the government anything more, it just broadens what people can spend their HSA money on. What could slow things down is some Democrats say HSA expansions mostly help higher earners, costing $180 billion over a decade, which, based on the proposals we just went through, doesn't really make any sense. Maybe I'm taking crazy pills that aren't HSA approved, but to me, making more low-cost health plans HSA eligible, allowing working seniors on Medicare Part A to contribute to an HSA, and doubling contribution limits for people earning less than $150,000 and $75,000 all appear to help lower income earners. In my opinion, these changes could be a big deal for current and potential HSA users, letting them save more tax-free. It might take a few months to become law, but if any or all of these get approved, then they would likely become law starting in 2026. For now, keep using your HSA with today's rules, and I'll do my best to keep you updated on these proposals. If you're someone like me who saves up HSA-approved medical receipts to cash in on them in the future, then you can get a free copy of the HSA expense tracker that I personally use down in the description below. I show you how to turn your HSA into a tax-free retirement account in this video to your left next. Hit that like button before you go. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Done.